Uh, right. Midweek update time. And we are reversing yesterday's Dak-centric stance and officially moving back to Jaden Daniels as our core quarterback after rechecking ownership, matchup, and slate dynamics. Quarterback. We are back on Jaden Daniels at 6,900. Dallas have the absolute worst defense overall by opponent rank 32. His dash rank is 100. He is projected for 22, and he is going to be about 32% owned. We are embracing the chalk here because this is the cleanest ceiling path on the slate, and multiple Week 7 previews explicitly frame this game as Jaden Daniels versus Dak Prescott, including the ESPN picks and storylines piece, and essentially sports bold predictions article highlighting Daniels and Dak as the drivers of this matchup. He just came off that questionable roughing the passer call on Monday, which underscores how often he is in playmaking situations. We pivoted off him yesterday for ownership reasons, but the absolute worst defense overall tag, plus his dash rank 100 and solid per-game baseline of 20 fantasy points, bring us back. We are keeping Dylan Gabriel as our value quarterback at 4,400. Miami have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank 29. He is projected 14 with about 3% ownership, and his last 3 of 9, 16, and 0 show volatility we are willing to accept in tournaments. The news cycle backs the high-variance profile with the lefty versus lefty angle against Tua, making NFL history in Week 7. And the Patrick Queen illegal contact story from the Steelers game adds context on the pocket pressure he has been handling. Same call as yesterday here because the salary unlock is valuable in stacks. Running back, we are pivoting onto Jerome Ford at 4,400 for salary relief. Miami have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank 29. He carries a dash rank of 100, is projected 6, and he is only about 1% owned. We are making this change from yesterday's Javonte build to free up cap for our Washington and Dallas pieces. Ford has put up 8, 6, and 1 in his last 3 and averages 5 per game, so this is a tournament-only play. But the price, the soft overall matchup, and sub-2% ownership create leverage. The Essentially Sports profile reminds us he has been the trusted next man up behind Nick Chubb since 2022, and that reliability is what we are buying at a discount. Wide receiver, we are moving to George Pickens at 7,300 as our ceiling receiver. Washington have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank 23. His dash rank is 100, projection is 15, ownership is about 6%, and he is averaging 21 fantasy points per game, with 35, 14, and 36 in his last 3. The form is elite, the matchup is soft, and the field is not fully there, so we prefer this over yesterday's Debo angle. The top 10 performers of Week 6 piece featuring Pickens supports the hot streak thesis we want to ride in tournaments. Tight end, we are pivoting back to Jake Ferguson at 5,500. Washington have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank 23. He has a dash rank of 100, projects 13, and sits around 2% ownership despite averaging 16 per game, with recent outputs of 12, 24, and 17. This is a direct reversal from yesterday's Tucker Craft diversification. We want correlation with this game environment, and the news drumbeat calls Ferguson a go-to tight end in Dallas and locked in as the 2025 season gets rolling. At flex, we are sliding to Rashid Shaheed at 4,500. Chicago have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank 28. His dash rank is 100, projection is 11, ownership is about 5%, and he has shown spike week ability with 7, 24, and 9 in his last 3. The speed narratives are real, with multiple pieces calling him one of the league's speed demons and highlighting his Week 5 burst. This is the right salary to upside fit, alongside our Washington-Dallas core. Defense, we are pivoting to the Chiefs at 3,700. The Raiders have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank 30. Projected points are 8, and ownership is about 12%. We prefer the divisional pressure rate and turnover upside here, and the price is manageable within our stacks. Quick value confirmations and why they fit construction. We like Chris Moore at 3,000 as a salary saver with Jaden Daniels. Dallas have the absolute worst defense overall by opponent rank 32. He is projected 6 at about 17% ownership, and he just put up 14 last game. This is a simple correlation and price play that lets us keep ceiling elsewhere. We are keeping Jatavian Sanders at 3,200 in the punt pool. The Jets have one of the worst defenses overall by opponent rank 27. He is projected 6, and ownership is effectively 0. His last 3 fantasy point lines are 0, 0, and 0, which underscores the floor risk. But in large fields, that near zero ownership is the appeal. Will Dissly remains a deep punt at 2,800. Indianapolis have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, by opponent rank 13. He's projected 3, with about 1% ownership. And this is purely a salary release for lineups that need the extra dollars. If you need a DST punt, the Titans at 2,400 are viable. New England have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, by opponent rank 19. Projection is 5, ownership is about 5%, and this is a price-driven alternative when you are pushing premium stacks. To summarize the changes versus yesterday's video, we are back on Jaden Daniels over Dak because Dallas have the absolute worst defense overall, and the slate-wide narrative, plus his dash rank 100 and ownership context justify eating the chalk. We are shifting to Jerome Ford at running back for salary leverage while keeping tournament flexibility. We are moving our primary receiver to George Pickens for elite recent form against one of the worst defenses overall at modest ownership. We are re-adding Jake Ferguson for correlation and role confidence. We are rotating flex to Rashid Shaheed to capture speed-driven spike potential versus one of the worst defenses overall. And we are sliding defense to the Chiefs for an 8-point projection in a favorable overall spot. Drop your questions and let us know if you're running Jaden double stacks with Chris Moore, bringing it back with Ferguson, and sprinkling Pickens as your ceiling one-off, and we will finalize exposures after inactives.